Today is another of Aesop's fables, and it is The Ant and the Dove. It was a hot summer day, and a little ant had been working hard in the sun. She was desperate for a nice, cool drink of water. She searched and searched for a pond or stream, but she couldn't find one anywhere. The further the little ant walked, the thirstier she became. I hope I find something to drink soon, she thought. Then she lifted her head and listened. I can hear bubbling water, she cried, with a new spring in her step. She hurried forward. It wasn't long before she came to a fast-flowing river. Little Ant stopped on the bank and gazed joyfully at the water. Now I can drink and never be thirsty again, she said to herself. Little Ant was so excited. She scurried down the bank to the river's edge. In her haste, she slipped and fell, tumbling with a splash into the water. Desperately, she tried to turn herself over and scramble to the side, but the water was so fast and the current was so strong she felt herself being washed downstream. Help, she called in her small voice. Help, somebody help. Overhead, a white dove was flying home. She had been decorating her nest and was carrying a large leaf in her beak. She heard the tiny cries for help and swooped down to see what was the matter. She was just in time to see Little Ant splashing in the water. Hold on, she cried, I'll help you. Diving down, the dove scooped Little Ant onto the leaf and flew her to the riverbank. She tipped the water very carefully out of the leaf. Little Ant rolled out onto the ground, soaking wet and frightened. Don't worry, Little Ant, cooed the dove in her soft voice. You are safe now. Little Ant shook the water out of her ear, smiled up at the dove. You saved my life, she said. How can I ever thank you? I don't need thanks, said the dove. I'm just happy to be able to help. Kind dove, said Little Ant, I hope one day I will be able to do something for you in return. Parting ways, the dove flew into the sunny sky, and Little Ant ran happily all the way back home. Little Ant was eager to repay the dove's kindness, and one day she had her chance. She was scurrying across the field when she overheard two bird catchers talking. One had a pair of binoculars and a bag full of birdseed, and the other was carrying a net. My wife has always wanted a pet dove, said the man with the birdseed, as he saw the white dove pecking away in the field. We have a nice cage at home, and it will fit right in at home. Quickly, the man with the net said, throw the seed down on the ground. Then let's hide behind these bushes, and when the dove comes to eat it, we'll catch it in the net. Little Ant heard the men speaking and gasped. They are talking about my friend, the white dove. I have to warn her, she thought, but it was too late. Dove saw the seeds scattered on the ground and flew down for a nice, tasty lunch. She hopped around looking this way and that, but the bird catchers were well hidden. Dove felt safe, so she began to peck away without a care. Before she knew it, the man with the net reached out and flung it over her. Got you, he said triumphantly. Dove cooed and beat her wings. Help me, she called. I'm trapped. When Little Ant saw Dove being trapped in the net, she knew she had to be brave. To the rescue, she cried, running forward as though she was charging into battle. Little Ant ran straight up to the foot of the man with the net over the dove. The man was wearing sandals and no socks. One of his big hairy toes peeked out of the end, right in front of Little Ant's face. Perfect, she thought. Then, opening her mouth as wide as she could, she bit the man hard and fast on his toe. Ow! Yelled the man with the net, hopping around on one foot. Ow, ow, ow! It hurts so much that he dropped the net and Dove wiggled free. "Thank you, little ant," she called as she flew into the air. "Thank you." Brave little ant smiled and waved to Dove. Then she scurried away as fast as she could go. "You saved my life," the dove told the ant when she landed in the next field. "Just as you once saved mine," replied little ant, finally happy to have repaid the kind dove. The grateful heart will always find a way to show its gratitude. The end.